When Ricochet meets a person, it's like they're a book, and she reads the whole book in a matter of seconds. She's able to make immediate connections on a very deep, heart-to-heart, soul-to-soul level. And Ricochet has been alerting to people's emotional and physical pain for over the last 6 years. And the way that she communicates this is by stopping or planting. And basically, she doesn't want the person going into environments they're uncomfortable in.
No, I don't want to be in here either.
Come on, Ricky. Come on.
Come on.
She's like, Randy, you shouldn't be in here.
No.
Is that how you're feeling right now?
Yeah.
So you see her behavior is kind of imitating his?
Yeah.
Because he's apprehensive, so that she's telling him no.
I didn't train her to do this, but I have nurtured it. And she mostly does this kind of alerting with military with PTSD. So if she's showing a certain behavior, it's typically because she's mirroring the service member's emotion. Or if she shuts down, then I'll ask the person, are you done? And that's how I'm able to tell how they're feeling. And often she'll stop at the front door of a place because she's mirroring their hesitancy to go inside or taking responsibility for their well-being. Ricochet's sense of responsibility is just too great. So what I do now is if the person's anxiety or apprehension increases and she stops, I'll momentarily take the leash. It seems by doing this, she feels relieved of the responsibility and walks just fine. But when I give the leash back, she goes back into responsibility mode and stops again. However, if the person doesn't feel anxious, Ricochet will also reflect that in her behavior. And just to prove to myself that it's not her own hesitation that she's stopping for, I had several other volunteers that don't have PTSD to try walking with Ricochet, and I also had a perfect stranger walk with her. Then after that, we had 2 service members that she had never interacted with take her leash, and with the one, she walked in the front door without any incident, but then as they neared the first exit, Ricochet tried to lead him in that direction toward the exit. With the second service member, she stopped several times, but then I took the leash, and again, she walked perfectly fine with me. But at one point, even when I was holding the leash, she wouldn't go down a crowded aisle with me. See, so this is a crowded aisle. So she's saying, no, I don't think it's so good for you to go down that aisle. I think it's because she knew the service member was still with us. She didn't feel like it was a good idea to take him down there no matter who was holding the leash. You can actually see her making eye contact with me several times trying to tell me, no, this isn't a good idea to go down that aisle.
This way? Okay, where should we go? Show me. Which way? Show me. This way? Okay, see if she'll take you that way.
She's communicating on a level that we can't. She also does this on the beach. For instance, with 8-year-old West, who has autism, there was one day when he wasn't ready to surf, and she planted herself until West was ready. And when he was ready, then she got on the board and they surfed together and had a good time. Another time, Ricochet was surfing with 2 teenage boys, and they both needed heart transplants. Then at one point, she thought it was enough, and she stopped. She wouldn't go back in the water. She must have thought it was too dangerous for them to continue surfing with their heart condition. There's no better representation of Ricochet feeling responsible than with West. They're surfing on a wave, and when they're getting close to shore, they both jumped off the board, but there was nobody else around. So Ricochet, she wouldn't take her eyes off of him until he made eye contact. And then, and only then, did she feel he was okay, and then she could run off to the beach. Although Ricochet wasn't trained to do what she does, she seems to understand this and takes responsibility for their welfare. Not everyone believes that dogs feel emotions or make judgment calls, exercise intuition, take responsibility and perform their magic on a day-to-day basis. But I believe Ricochet does. And I believe all dogs have the capability. The problem is we often think our dogs are misbehaving, when in reality, they're only trying to communicate.